Welcome to day 98 of the Trump presidency. From the way that people were talking about this prior to the inauguration, I really didn't think we'd get this far. Although that's probably a summarization or reflection I should have kept until Saturday, which 2 days from now, just because it would make more sense from a narrative standpoint to do it at then. Whatever came to my mind. So the big thing of today is this rushed, and I mean just it could, as it was said on Fox right now by I can't remember her name, one of the blondes they have on there, uh that likely a bill could come about in regards to healthcare within the next 48 hours. I get that ever since FDR we've had this thing about the first 100 days, the first 100 days. But I'm sorry, if it means making legislation that turns out to be nothing more than a mess, then why bother? What is so special about being able to say, in my first 100 days, I put out a healthcare bill, and then on day 101, it went into effect? Uh, you know, it, Part of you getting 8 years, or I'm sorry, so that's assuming he wins re-election, which I personally hope not, but whatever. Part of the reason you get 4 years is so that in that time you can use your time to try and put together um, things which will benefit the people around you. If they believed everything could be accomplished in 100, 200, 300 days, we'd have a presidential election every year. But part of the reason why it is a term of 4 years is that they would assume in 3 months you can get one thing done, in 5 months you can get this done. You give yourself time to go and meet with the people that you might need to meet with to persuade them and convince them to be on your side in regards to the notification. Anything you want passed. And of course, sometimes you can't get that done, but this is my claim here. I find it very unusual that um, he would even need to do this because, yes, back in March he tried and it didn't go through. But you have to remember, there was that whole month of February. I mean, it's like for January, I remember that ending with the banning of entry into the U.S. from those 9 countries. And really, what happened during February? What was so preoccupying about that month? I'm willing to give him the benefit of the doubt. Um, Even though we know that only formally he started repealing the Affordable Care Act in early March. I'm looking right here, it says March 8th. So, what justification can we give for why this law not only is being thrown together sloppily and rushed in hoping to get past, get through before day 101, but also is not being met with any of the concern nor care that is needed to take care of the 11 million people that don't have health care in the US? There's a serious problem when we get to a point where, oh, these 24 hours mean this, and all those, 24s of what dozens of thousands of 24s of people don't mean anything as far as their health care is concerned. I know an administration official will go, oh, well, you know what you're talking about. We're trying to get this out so people can be insured very quickly and all of that gibberish. But comprehend this. Bring yourself to this idea. If you cared so much, you would have had an idea planned ahead of time. The man was president elect for 2 months before taking office. Surely in that time he could have met with the lawmakers. They haven't changed up that much between November 8th and January 20th. We know they didn't. So it doesn't make sense to me why this bill wasn't better constructed. Um, it doesn't add up as to why this 100-day thing is so significant to him. This is the guy that brags about his accomplishments. Why don't you brag that you didn't care what they thought, and as a result, you decided to put real thought into your healthcare bill? Brag about that. Brag about the idea that you said, you know what, tax reform, we're going to give that a little bit more of a thought. We're going to not pass that in the hopes of meeting some ridiculous quota that's been in place for the last 70 years because I'm concerned about the American people. Even though I'll gladly break that down as to why that's not the case in 2 days for our special day 100 finale. So that's that. Thank you for watching. Have a good day. And don't buy into any more of this nonsense about the swamp being drained, about there being any concern within that administration for you. I don't believe Trump sits at home, sits in the White House tonight and goes, I can't wait to mess with those poor people and those middle class people. But I don't believe he sits in there and goes, oh man, I really hope that they know what they're doing with this bill. Oh man, I hope, that we don't have more home. No, I don't think either one of those goes through his mind. I think that he wanted the presidency for the sake of being in the history books and making himself more historic, if you want to call it that. And he succeeded in doing so. And as a result, people are going to just be screwed over for the next couple of years. And it's not entirely all the way just him, because his cabinet members, with the exception of maybe 2, maybe 3, and I know who they are, I'm giving one person, I don't know them as well, or I'm not paying as much attention to them, but I'll say who they are on day 100. Like, that's not 2 days from now. Just don't buy into it.